Well, on today's Wednesday walkabout, I'm going to show you my front yard and what I'm going to be doing here in the next couple of weeks. It looks like hell, you guys. I'm not going to lie. I was looking at some video that we shot just a year ago, and it looked so green and so lush and so whole and intact that it makes my heart hurt a little bit to see how much damage there was from both that horrific ice storm that we had back in October, and then recently just the extreme cold. So things look really, really brown, but I also know how resilient Mother Nature is, and all of this stuff with a good feed, we want to make sure to give a really good feed. I'm going to be saying that 100 times over and over again. A really good feed to the entirety of our gardens this year to help it recover. So as a sign of hope and spring coming up, I bought some red ruby cabbage. These are Ruby Perfection, I think. Are these? Yes, these are Ruby Perfection cabbages. I just got these at TLC or Lowe someplace yesterday, one of my local nurseries. And I'm going to plant them in the front yard. Now, I can go ahead and plant these now because even though there's still some cold, these are cold adaptive. They will be fine. And I like to have them showcased in the front right around Easter time because it gives my front yard that kind of Peter Rabbit Easter basket quality that I like so much. So I'm going to be planting them in here, and Stuart, if you don't mind, I'll try to make my shadow not so obvious that you can't see. See that little ferny seedling right there that I'm pointing to? That's a chamomile seedling, and next to it is larkspur. So when I plant these, I'm going to be mindful of all the tiny little seedlings that are babies now, but that are going to grow up to be big guys and be part of the entire spring show. I've got some foxglove in here. There are a million tulips coming up. This year I have to really be careful because I planted even more tulips than I have in the past because I had more space because so many things got destroyed. So I'm just going to plant these little cabbages. I'll probably do that a little bit later. I'll be deadheading my violas and pansies and giving them a good feed. And then, as I did on my front porch, and I'm going to show you another video on that later, I'm just kind of assessing some of the damage of the evergreens in the landscape. And I'm going to assessing them not only for whether or not they're live or dead or how badly they're damaged, but I'm also going to be assessing them up against my tolerance level and my impatience level for having them look good immediately and how important that is to me. So Stuart, if you will show, I've got a green mountain boxwood right here in the center that was really damaged. Yes, I can cut it back hard and it will probably come back over time. They're very resilient, but that's in a primo spot, a really important spot in my front landscape, and I don't know if I will be patient enough to wait for that to completely fill out again and be beautiful again. So I might transplant that to the back, do something with it. I might also see if I can maybe get some string and maybe go like this and tether it all together until it's into a pretty form again, and then clip it. So I'm assessing those kinds of things. You'll notice that there's still lots of leaf litter and leafy debris here. I'm going to leave that for right now. I'm just going to leave that alone. But what I am planning is a to-do list for Hubs this weekend. I'm going to have him go out and get me a bunch of that landscapers mix, the Earth Naturals, not Earth Naturals, Easy Grow. I'll get the name of it and put the name of it below. But the fine pine soil conditioner that I like to use that I get at Lowe's, and they did have some at Lowe's, at least the one on Memorial. I saw some there yesterday. So I'm going to get a lot of bags of those. I'm going to come back in. That will make me feel better Immediately, because I will top dress these things lightly, not so heavily that it will prevent any of those seedlings from coming through it and suffocate them, but enough that I will give it a dark, really rich look, and it will make some of the ugliness kind of recede into the background. So some other things that I am looking at, Stuart, if you can come over here. It's trash day, so ignore the trash cans and such. Lots of my U's got damaged, so I'm also kind of reassessing those. But look over here. These are all of those hellebores that I cut back not too long ago. Look at all of those happy bees, all of those happy bumblebees. They're happy, I am happy, Stuart's happy, and they are really going crazy on these flowers. Now, some of these were really squashed and stems were broken by the snow, but look at how resilient the rest of these are. I just love the form of that. They're gorgeous. I'll probably cut some of these. Here's one that's a little bit different. I'll probably cut some of those and bring in a little bouquet. That area over there, that clump of them with all of the bees got really squashed. The bees don't seem to mind that clump being squashed, but I am going to do a little bit of work on that. And then look at all these seedlings, you guys. Maybe my shadow will help a little bit here. Stuart won't be quite. Look at all these seedlings. If you're in the neighborhood and you come by, I would happily share some of those with you. So all of those hellebore seedlings are going to be very happy. The azaleas, probably more than anything in the front yard, took a huge hit. I've talked about that before. Some of these I'm going to cut back hard, but I'm trying to be very, very patient and just see what they do and if they start leafing out again. But I also have some gorgeous, I want to infuse a little bit more gold into the landscape now that I'll have more sun. So I've got some lime mound spireas. I'll try to put a list of some of my favorite gold plants. I've got some lime mound spireas here that look beautiful along with the golden feverfew. And then I'm gonna put some of these Southern Living Nightlights Chamaecyparis in here. I love these. You know, I love Southern Living plants. So I think I'm gonna put some of these in here now that I have a little bit more light. I think I need a third one because I always like to plant things in threes where I have some voids. But again, I have to be really very careful as I start digging because there are tulips coming up everywhere. And in some cases, before I put anything else into the ground shrub-wise, I might want to wait to see where those tulips are actually coming up. But I'm going to give everything a really great, granular fertilizer, organic fertilizer, and I'm going to do it in all areas. This is another instance, you guys. I was talking to Pam at TLC, one of our local nurseries, yesterday. And by the way, you want to make sure to stay tuned to this channel because this week or next week, I'm going to go out there and interview her about boxwood and all of the different varieties there are, which ones make really good topiaries and things. If you like this kind of content, as always, give me a thumbs up, comment below, make sure to subscribe, hit notifications. And by the way, I have to give Stuart great big kudos because everybody has commented on the little animations that he's been doing at the beginning. They're really fun. They make me smile. But we were talking about how badly the hollies have been hit. These are just regular old Burford Chinese hollies. And look at how brown all of that foliage is. But they are very much still alive, so I'll probably give these a hard prune and they'll come out just fine. So I've got lots of cleaning up to do. I am very tempted to do it now. It's my happiest way to procrastinate, but I've got too much else going on. But the entire yard is just basically going to be given a really good prune, look-see. I'm going to fertilize really well, and we've got a good rain coming. So if you're in my zone 7B, if you're in Oklahoma or anywhere, in the kind of this area, and you have overseeded with fescue or perennial rye or annual rye, and you want to green it up really well, then I would run, do not walk, and get some Milorganite. That's M-I-L Organite. You can get it at Home Depot, you can get it at your nurseries or whatever. It's organic. It is wonderful, but what it is pelletized sewage waste from Milwaukee. But the stuff is magic, and you can put it on your land or your landscape now, your yards, your overseeded lawns, and before a rain, and I promise you within a week or two with these warmer temperatures, you are going to have a carpet that is just as green as can be, as green as my synthetic turf. So I would encourage you to put that on your list if you have an overseeded lawn. Not if you just have a Bermuda lawn. So that's that. There are some things that you can do that I'm gonna do in my weekly Wednesday walkabout. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you this weekend.